A good night of Shabbos. This week is Parshas Toldos. We're moving on in consciousness. We're moving on in evolution. We're moving on, and I'm realizing that I am not walking my week. I'm not. My goals, the way it's set up for me to see it is, my goal is that I need to get there, and that goal is going to take me. I have my 1 week goal, and then I have my year goal, my 10-year plan, and then I'm climbing the hill. I'm pulling with my hands uphill, hand climbing or pushing with my legs, whatever it takes. And in 10 years from now, I am going to be in 10 years from this place, in time and space. That's the wrong way of looking at it, because that way is out of alignment. That is not the way we are structured. That's breaking the machine. Rather, I'm present, I'm here, I don't move. My body, my goof is my end game, is where I download. This is my piece that is able to show up in this vast world of so much and everything else going on. And it comes to me. And what changes is that when it comes to me, I'm able to be present. I'm dropping into the moment. I'm dropping into the present moment. And from that place, I evolve. So my problems don't rip me apart. My shortcomings, they don't say who I am. That's not who I am. I am who I am. And I'm flushing through, I'm recycling, and I'm generating from that place. I'm recycling and I'm regenerating a new reality and a new outcome. And we have the keys. Each and every one of us has the key. This is the koyach that we have as Bnei Yisrael. We have the key to Bechir, to choose. We can decide what to open, which channel I'm going to download, what pipe am I connecting to, which cinder am I connecting to, positive or negative. This week is Parshas Toldos. It's one of the most fascinating. I don't say fascinating, powerful. I like to use the word powerful. Powerful is more. This is not fascinating. It's powerful. We see two powers are fighting over its existence. Who is going to live on, and who is not. And it's not only who is going to live on. Because when the powers are battling this out, it's not as to who is going to live on. They truly, each and every one of them, believes that he is the one. Because they're both coming from a place, from creation. And each and every one, the game is real. Each and every one believes that he is the one that is representing the truth, that is representing the ultimate truth. The only thing is that there is only one truth. And the other thing is that something has to be there in order for the truth to be seen. If there's a truth here, there has to be an untruth somewhere else on the other side, so I can recognize that I'm the truth. Otherwise, I'm back to square one, as we covered this many times. Square one means that we're back nichel in source, which in Choshech, what that looks like, it looks like walking into a wedding hall or a party where there's a bunch of people that everybody looks up to, and you take up zero space. Nobody sees me, nobody wants me, nobody pays attention, I'm stupid. That's what it looks like. So therefore, we have to have the untruth on the other side, so I can recognize and see my truth. Now, since these two powers are fighting with each other, I'm battling it out within me. I also have my untruth that I think is my truth, and that is confusing me, that's giving me pain. And then I have on the other side, I have my truth. Now, it's easier said than done, because if I have something that's been with me for generations, I don't even know that I'm doing it. I don't even know that I'm tripping up. I don't even know my shortcomings. I just am. And because the way I'm set up to judge myself in past and future, I judge myself and I get broken rather than realizing that it's just an evolution that needs to open up. I'm a baby, it's a seed that needs to open. So we have Yaakov and Esav. They're battling it out. They're coming from Yitzchak. And we all know Yitzchak Avinu, Pachad Yitzchak is, we've been going at this for, I think since Shavuos, we've been going at this from the Rebbe's Maimon Tanig Bilti Murgish, where he introduced us to Tanig Bilti Murgish. And then we went in from there to the Be'eres. The Be'eres are concepts. It's a way of life. It's a kav. This is weak. Whoever doesn't follow the Parsha, you're following it now. Avram dug Be'eres and Yitzchak dug Be'eres. The wells that Avram dug, the Pelishtim, they closed, and the wells that Yitzchak dug, they could not close. Why? Because we're talking about different concepts. Somebody shows up in a shtetl, it comes into the city, and he sells a new idea. And everybody runs for it. 10 minutes later, there's somebody else that does the same thing and better or different or outdated. But the program of Avram had some faults by design because it's chesed. Chesed can have klippa. I can overindulge. I'm not going to be marich in this because we know this, but just go with it. Yitzchak on the other side is the complete opposite. It's dry to the bone. It's gevuret tzimtzum all the way in to the point where I give up my whole self, everything. I cease to exist. So when you take away, if my whole existence is what other people are going to say about me, how I'm perceived, what I'm looked at, how I'm looked at, and if I take that away from me, then I'm done. I'm suffocating. I have no air. But if I have something more, if I have a higher conscience, if I have something more, my existence is not what you think of me. It's not the way I'm perceived, but rather Tanig Bilti Murgish, which is the ultimate mortgage. What am I? What do I participate in? What's asked of me? What energy? What color? What sound do I bring into it? What syllable do I play today? Then I'm untouchable. So we have white and we have red. We have Yaakov and we have the uncle Esav. And ultimately, Yaakov Avinu did a good number on Esav because Esav is emotion. He's full of emotion, and it's easy to play with emotion. It's easy for me to put a nice cooked red what's it called over there, meatballs after a heavy day, and I'm getting all verloren over a steak. I'm getting all verloren over a deal, no matter what the cost is, no matter how much I'm going to lose. I don't care about the consequences because right now I see this in front of my eyes and I'm running for it. My heart is taking me, and I'm all emotion, zero moichem. There's nothing going on over there. So it's easy to be confused. So therefore, Yaakov played him easily. Yes, he was tall, he was big, Esav, he was a monster, he was strong, he was fire, he was toyu. Esav comes from a higher place than Yaakov. Esav is toyu, but he couldn't ground it. So what good is it? It's just wild energy, uncentered, no das. So he lost his bechorah, which is, we're playing here for real. Bechorah does not necessarily mean that I'm going to be the first one to take my father's from the Yerusha. That's not what we're talking. We're talking here about existence in Oiris, in Tzinoiris, and that's what we're talking about. They were playing for real. So Yitzchak wanted to give the brachas to Esav. Why? Because he figured, there's many pshatim on this. We're going to go with the one that suits our work, to excel in our work. Because if Esav gets the brachas, he figured that he's going to finish the job much faster. Because Esav was full of emotion, and he is a chaya. So if I give him a bracha to succeed, he's going to drive himself into tikkun much faster. Instead of taking 2,000 or 3,000 years, he's going to finish the job in 100 years. And then we would have been at the ultimate redemption. But Rivka, the Mama Rivka saw better. The Mama saw that this guy is a chaya, and by the time he's done, he's not going to leave anything, not a shred. Nothing's going to be left of anybody. As we see right now, as it's playing out, 2,500, 3,000, 3,500 years later, what's playing out is a very complete, absolute disintegration. That Esav is disintegrating. Look what's happening out there. Look what's happened to our minds, to the world, what's being sold, the garbage. They're indulging and to the point of self-destruction with everything happening right now. craziness. And you also see that it makes no sense what's going on, where people are just fast asleep, following orders that make no sense whatsoever, right? So this is a chelik of the emotion, not even knowing what's going on. So here we're moving on. Yitzchak tells Esav, go bring me food and matamim. I'm gonna raise my vibration. I'm gonna get into a higher elevation, a higher frequency. Lifnei Hashem lifnei Moisi. I'm going to bench you before Yudke Vavke, before the consciousness, before the Oy Yudke Vavke, before I die. What does it mean, Moisi? What are we talking about over here? We're not talking about children over here. They were here and there at the same time. Tzaddikim, Befrada Ovas, they were Markovas. There was the highest consciousness of Getlakat, their represented Gevura was in Welt. Lifnei Moisi means that as there was a manifestation, there was an actual act out in Welt of the ultimate Gevura, koyach of restraint. And it was a kaf that opened up, and then we spoke about this by the Shir. We spoke about this, that we manifest in Welt on two things, by my yin and the yang, both. The lois esse and the esse. I'm here by the stuff that I don't do, and then I have the stuff that I do. And as I complete that, I expire, and the neshama, the nefesh, stays its nitzchis, and it comes back again in another shape or form based on what he needs to perform this time. Tall, short, smart, fast, whatever it is he needs, whatever his mission is to get him into best flow. So he wanted to take him up to give him a bracha lifnei moisi. So Yitzchak said, before I'm going to expire in my manifestation over here, and I'm going to be nichlal back into oneness. I'm going to go back to where I come from, my source. And also at the same time, when I do that, is tzaddikim yosef v'mitzvosim v'chayim, which means that the tzaddik, while he's here, he's in a keli, but once he goes from the Welt, he's everywhere. He becomes the consciousness of Welt. He becomes the fabric of how we think and the way we think. So he wanted to give that over to Esav. But now that we got the brachas, so now the fabric, this koyach that we have, Avram, so this week's parsha starts, Ve'elu Tildes Yitzchak ben Avram. So Avram did the chesed kav, and then he went offer ve'efer, he turned into dust, and it turned into efer para, that's the fabric of one chaylik of our fabric, which is the chesed, the ultimate chesed that we have. And then from there we went into Yitzchak, that's another fabric, which is the Gevura. And then when he passed on, he became Karm Oila, there was Tamima, perfection to perfection, nailed it. And we have now the Gevura. So which means that our DNA is made up of these two. I have the Chesed and I have the Gevura, my two wings. I have my Av and I have my Yir. And then we got the Bracha. What is this Bracha? What koyach do we have from this Bracha? So in the brachas, says Rashi that there's two ways. We got bedin, which means like this. A yid only receives bedin, which means by justice. It's measured. Din means measurement, judgment. Judgment can be good or bad. I'm judging based on my actions. If I did a good deed, if I said a good word, if I smiled, based on that, I'm receiving. Because we have bechira, we can turn on and off. We can make the soup hot and cold, salt and sweet. But the Rasha, the Goy, does not have that bechira. So that's why he gets a bracha regardless. It's designated. No matter what he does, this is what he's going to have. Why? You may say that it's unfair, but it's not. Why? Because we are Emunah programs. Our machines runs on a battery called Emunah. Amunah is complete surrender. We're not going to get into that right now. We know what it is, and forever is new to this. Just put it into the storage, and it comes. More information will go on top of that. Amunah is where I'm complete, the leap of faith. I'm surrendering. I'm jumping off the cliff, and I trust, which means I'm doing my part, and then I surrender to what's going to happen. Because ultimately, I know that I'm just a flow. I'm just an expression of the highest content. I'm an expression of Eibishter in Welt. And whatever he wants, he's just coming through me. And I'm just holding space for that so I can recognize that. So this week's parsha always, as the Rebbe says in a sikha, it always comes out. Toldos comes out in Chodesh Kislev. Chodesh Kislev. I think it's clear like that. Don't quote me on it. I don't know for sure, for certain, but I think that's what it says. Kislev is, as the Rebbe goes into a sikha, is case, which means bekesa, and Lamed Vav, which means 6 times 6, which is the 6 times the midas. And the Rebbe goes into a whole pilpul over here as to explain that, technically speaking, why should we be Machadash de Lavana in the beginning of the month when the Lavana is small? There's nothing there, it's just a Nakuda. Rather, we should be Machadash de Lavana on the 16th day of the month. That's when the moon is in full glory. Right? When it's already gave birth to itself. So listen to this. This is strong, this is powerful stuff. So we're in Rosh Chodesh right now. Rosh Chodesh Kislev. Rosh Chodesh is the head of the month. It's the package of all the energy. This is, as we know now, that I'm an emotional energy machine with moichin on it. This is when I'm going back to my motherboard. I'm going back to my mothership, and I'm downloading. Rosh Hashanah had 12 packages in it. Every month had a package. The big package was Rosh Hashanah, then divided into 12, and then to the week, and then the day, the month, the hour, and the second. So as I'm going, Rosh Chodesh is when we're unpacking now this consciousness. Rosh Chodesh Kislev is the month of miracles. Why is it the month of miracles? Because it has, in the month, it's the 6 times 6, which we take charge of all the midas are in full display, they're activated. I'm not elaborating on it, just go with that. So that means that we are going into a place, because how is it a month of miracles? We have all the miracles happening in Kislev, Chanukah, and then we have Yeda Chassidus, Kuf Aleph Kislev, Yutas Kislev, Chassidus of Rosh Hashanah of Chassidus, because we are going into a place of Yitzchak Avinu, which is higher than anything. It's Lifnei Hashem. The bracha that we got, that Yitzchak gave us, was Lifnei Hashem, Lifnei Moisi. We're going into a place that is higher from Teva. We're going into the place of Amunah. We're going into the place of the Nakuda, of the Dat. And this is the Nitzchis, the Nitzchis of Mashiach. This is the Beis Hamikdash, where I have one Nakuda. I don't need everything to make sense. Because when I need to make everything has to make sense, then I'm in emotion. And when I'm in the world of emotion, I go wild. It's Toyu. Because I can't possibly process all these problems and all these emotions. It's not for me to process. Rather, my machine is to go into the Nakuda. I need to find one Nakuda, my Emunah, and surrender to that. And the Nakuda can be a point of surrender to that everything is fine, and find the Nakuda and each and everybody in their own way. And this is the Toldos Yitzchak that we have this week, that we are able to go in. I can release myself from anything that I'm entangled, anything that my body is stretched into, anything that I'm manifesting into, to my 20 or 30 projects in my head, my project of judging myself, my project of being a victim, my project of having anger issues or nervousness or whatever that is. I can pull myself out by going to a Nakuda. I have the choice to tap into my Emunah. And guess what? Nobody can do the work for you. You got to do it. Nobody can do the work. This is the way this works. This is the way Emunah works. The Goy has no Bechira. That's why no matter what, he's going to get what he gets. But we have to specifically, we have to get into the Nakuda. Why? Because we are the lamplighters. We represent light. We represent Oyer and Welt. That's our job. And until you're not going to surrender and get this, life is not going to be a ball of roses. It's going to get pretty tough, because when you have such powerful, when you have a flow of water that wants to come through, and the hose has a kink in it, it's gonna eventually give. Something is gonna bust. So this is the power of Chodesh Kislev. We're gonna open it up more in this year. I don't want to elaborate because it's too many words to bring in to explain it. But ultimately, Chodesh Kislev is where we go into a place of, I would say, we came out of Marcheshvan, we came out of the Mabel, we came out of the Teva now. We finally walked out of the Teva. We're going in Lech Lecha Ma'artzecha. We walked into the desert. We walked into the abyss. We walked into complete surrender. I surrendered, and from there I went into Vayera. I'm starting to see, and then Chaya Sarah, Chaya Sarah teaches us My way of living is through Mesiras Nefesh, living and dying. That my way of living is by dying. Living and dying. My dying is that I keep anything that's not doesn't bring me menuchas and nefesh. Anything that is putting me in a squeeze is vatumas, dead. And from that dead I find life. Why? Because Toldos Yitzchak, I have the tiny built-in murgish, I have the kav of gevura, that I can just go back within my fire. I can hold so much space. We can hold so much space that we can tolerate Esav. Yitzchak was able to tolerate Esav, no matter how hard, how red it became. He still found the Nakuda. Even there, he found Eibishter in that. Even there, found Eibishter in that. He found. When I say Eibishter, he found that moment of Manucha. He found peace. And this is who we are. Eila Toldos Yitzchak. This is who we are. We have these abilities. We have these powerful tools that's not available to anybody. We have it. Try it. It works. And if you go in with that, then you go in with the Chesed, and you go into the Gevura, then you're tapping into the Yaakov program, which is Amunah de Kavim Tzui, which is the Nesher, gliding into freedom, being able to breathe. What's really important to me? If it's not going as a geitnish, if I keep hitting walls, buddy, you're ramming your vehicle into the wall. Why don't you stop, reverse, and take a minute, think. Who said that this is where you need to go? It's not designed this way. Who said that this is where you need to go? Because when you're trying to be somewhere, you're going into the world of emotion, you're going into Esau's world, it's going to get wild. You're going to get confused. With emotion, I can get tricked. You can buy me off with a nice deal. I can destroy my family, destroy families, bring pain into the world. With one wrong turn, with one temptation, giving into a temptation, I can drive myself down the cliff. Look at the Tohaim Rabbah. So have an awesome Shabbos. It's Chodesh Kislev. It's the month that this is it. Like we had the 4 weeks of Cheshvan, which is hard coming out of Yom Tov, and here we are. Stepping into the year has officially begun. We're here, and from here it's already days of light waiting ahead of us. Ahead of us as in potential in the present moment. Have an awesome Shabbos, l'chaim, and a good Chodesh.